back for the rating climb. We're at 1700 in bullet. We're going to try to get, I don't know, 1750, something like that. We'll see how it goes. 1+0, bullet chess on lead chess. Okay, first challenge. I don't care, really. Okay, Naka reference. It's good. For this, we're just going to keep developing towards the center. Try to stay up on the clock. Since I've been falling behind on the clocks a lot recently, and opponents are only getting faster, so have to keep finding ways to... Okay, so this pawn now in the center looks precarious. I think it's time to jump. I don't want to get into a pin, so I'll take with the queen. Counter pin. Ooh, and the knight falls. Okay. So this is going well. I want to take with the rook so that I can keep hanging onto this pawn. And then the bishop comes out as the last piece. And at this point, it's just, all right, and it's just a resign. Keep it going. Keep the streak. Panday. All right. So these types of positions for white, I mean, this pawn structure, right, is obviously stabilizing this knight, but it will create a lot of opportunities for black to counterattack later on in the game to sort of first start by, I mean, there's a lot of ways you could do this, and in fact, I probably should have just jumped the knight in here first, since this knight's quite strong. Yeah, but white already just backs up, and now I'll consider a few different options. But at some point, I kind of want to play this pawn move. Once I move maybe the queen or the rook out of the way, reconsider. Maybe this pawn move. I could push through, but I think takes, and then knight here. So now I'm threatening knight takes knight. I'd gladly take the recapture. Okay, I think I have to take. And now we both have not ideal positions. I think I get the rook move in, which is kind of nice. We now just need to find a way to try to break through. Maybe I start with rook here, king over, no mates, no mates. Is now the time? I think now's the time. It's a little bit wild. All right. Now, let's push. It's still scary, but if I just go queen here, okay, rook takes. I think positionally, black was doing much better before all this. Sorry, white. White was doing much better before all this. Now I get my rook in, and there's really not a lot he can do at this point. Yeah, there's a lot of these counter-attacking ideas, but a lot of pawns are going to fall now. Nope, that's not dropped. Okay, this is looking good. Just pre-move it, the rest of it. Maybe get the rook in behind the pawn. Okay, great. All right, we'll keep this going. Roy 2KO3. I'll play slow. And yeah, I don't even think this is probably the best exchange. I just try to move fast here. White can probably trade, and then maybe that would have been good to take the pawn away from the center, and then now I can use my open file first. Double up on this. All right, now there's some juicy moves. I like this. It forks the bishop and the knight. And then there are some ideas of maybe, yep, he misses that the bishop was on pre. And now, maybe bishop here. He can't play bishop there. Pawn forward would be tough. And then castle. And we're in good shape. Try to take some more space. I want to move the knight, but maybe I shouldn't because actually the knight covers this square quite well. Okay, he could have taken this pawn. He missed that. I want to develop the other rook. I think if I just wait, maybe I offer a queen trade. All right. I don't mind that white is really pushing their pawns and being very committal. Although, take that back. I want the knight to be on that square. Let's take first. Then the knight comes to that square. Bishop on this. First give a check. I think I can pick up the knight. With check. Okay, I'm still on the bishop, and there's a lot of danger there. Knight check coming in. Okay, still good. Equa Candy. Okay. We play a lot of Scandinavian, but we'll keep using it, at least at this level. Just trying to play provocatively, just trying to create some confusion, basically. And I'm pretty confident in these types of openings that there's usually a way for you to win back a lot of the material that gets lost throughout all the skirmishes. I think I take first, maybe give a queen check. It's got to be careful what he or where he moves it. And hang on, why don't I give a rook check first? And if he has to block, pawn forward looks devastating because this bishop's going to fall. And I don't even need to jump in right away. Maybe I start the party with a queen check because I don't love the way he's escaping. And then I just need to solve some of my issues on the back rank. Maybe queen here to threaten to swing the queen across. He drops that idea. I think I'm going to jump on it and go mad trade mode. Initiate mucho trades. Okay, take. If he wants to go like this, he's basically giving my rooks power over the e file. Okay, I'll take that. This knight's doing a good job of boxing him out. Don't really know what's necessary here. I think pawn forward would be good. And then maybe I'll just play like bishop here, and then just like bishop back to blockade and stuff. There was better. He was actually getting me into kind of an annoying little pickle. Okay. Just have to find a way to trade down, and we're in good shape. Okay, take the pawn, check. Play slow. We got plenty of time. 5 seconds. First take here, check, get behind the pawn. Ooh, skewer, or fork, I mean, back. All right, was down to the wire, but we were able to stay up on the board even at the end. Okay, Rosenberg Seoul, 1746. We'll keep playing King's games. Okay. Black wants to fianchetto and play a slightly slower, more strategic game. Already, though, as I say that, is breaking quite quickly on the queen side to try to take space. I like to just get my king out of a lot of these pins. He's maybe thinking of some, coordinating the bishop, and already in this position, it might be wise for me to play a little bit more defensively. Play a little more defensive. I want to unpin the knight that I had, which reinforces this square. Maybe move my knight when I get a chance so that I can not have this pin on the bishop. Here, maybe I just stabilize. Since now we have this very interesting, I think I take with the pawn, although it's a very interesting position. That's tough. Maybe rook here, and then bishop like here. Whew, a lot of tactics. And I'm trying to find the best way to navigate through all this. Queen comes in, although I realize right away that his rook can actually defend. Oh, that's interesting. That's a compromise. Gotta be careful. Threatening maybe mate. Okay, but the mate doesn't go away. I just need to dislodge the knights now. He's starting to panic a little bit. Okay. Yeah, I think in that one I just had to play fast. I guess in the end I was up a pawn, but it wasn't a very settled position. There was a lot of wildness in it. David 2-4-3-3. Maybe he'll play a queen's game, since I don't often play those with white, and just take the space. And I'll let that pawn fall for a second, or yeah, but it's doubtful white will end up taking it. Now I can regain the pawn. Really? I assumed black was going to want to castle this way. So first I'll offer the trade of bishops, and after they get declined, is there something a little bit more energetic? I was imagining some type of knight move and then opening up queen takes. This type of opening looks sketchy. Super sketchy for white. If I just move now, black has to take. And now, there's multiple ideas here. I think I start with queen takes first. Sorry, queen check first, and now just knight takes pawn to regain the pawn. No need to go there. Black's probably going to want to take space on this. This pawn move looks like one of the only wild moves in the position. And now just knight get out of the way. But I can do my own wild move. Just try to fracture the pawns. Queen check is in the cards. Maybe it makes sense to do that. I'm going to go pawn takes first. And now maybe take, and then rook here, lining up a pin, threatening knight takes pawn. Defended, but maybe there's a way of reinforcing this idea of knight takes pawn. Okay, now the knight can come here to maybe this square to go after the bishop, which I'll do now. This bishop's not very good right now, but maybe in the long term it could be strengthened. That is an interesting move. Let's bump the knight first, since the knight was maybe going to come here with check. Forces them to think. Okay, and then queen check. Take, and then pawn forward. There's some mojo happening now. Take first. Check. Oh, back. Here. Okay. Won that one on time. 1736. Try to get to 1750. We'll see if we can make it. Dian Suhu, 1980. We'll just try to play strong in the center. White's going to need to defend at some point. Maybe I just keep defending. I'm not reluctant to play the knight out here, since this is presumably the idea of just bumping. But already I think I need to start capitalizing. I'm imagining something like knight here. This move seems wild. It seems a little bit too wild. Even here, what if I just start with rook here? It seemed a little bit overly aggressive for its own sake. And already I can just take the knight, trade queens, pick up the bishop, and enjoy a very comfortable advantage. And yeah, we just have to now keep finding ideas. Bishop here to gang up on this pawn. First, take that out, then pick up a pawn, develop the knight. All the pieces are doing something now. Pull this back, we're threatening a pawn. Okay, keep the knight out. Keep in mind that if this knight moves, the bishop will fall, so maybe it makes sense to reroute the bishop so that we can be doing something a little bit better, maybe blockade the pawn, develop the rook into the game. There is this knight move, which I suppose is possible. I'll gladly trade. Double rooks. Look to take the 7th. Trade rooks on that. If he steps forward towards the rook afterwards, I'll get rook check and then pick up the pawn. All right, on to the next. Maybe just one more game, one or two more games should get us to 1750. Old Coot. Okay, play the Alakine. Okay, push the knight, defend the center. Huge center for white, but we know this is probably not going to last, so we're looking for more dynamic counterplay. I, again, like to just offer the trade. Maybe bishop here I kind of like, with the idea of maybe just, I guess I don't have to do it right now, but maybe just going bishop takes knight is kind of my thought. First, you can go queen take. Ah, he has queen there. But if I go bishop here, and then rook here, and then, he doesn't do it. It doesn't work because, well, there's this. I thought bishop here might work to distract the queen to give checkmate, but the queen could recapture the bishop with check, so it wouldn't work. This is already looking very devastating. In fact, maybe there's even better. After pawn takes, maybe you start by taking the knight, which means that this is actually a mate threat. Maybe that's not better, per se, because you maybe could have done something. Is that right? Guy right ban? Oh, that's too bad. Okay, Toroid, 1746. Keep going. Play to the center. Push pawns. Ooh. I think there's like an idea here of going bishop like this. I don't think this works. Yeah, he either knows what I'm doing or has just seen through it. This doesn't work, right? You can't play queen takes. You can't play queen takes. Exactly. And now, knight back. Knight develop. Take another pawn. Just gotta be aware of all the checks. These queen checks, although that's not the right square. And Toroid will be going down, it looks like, on this game. Maybe soon. Check. Okay. Queen here to maybe threaten a check or a check. We'll go with this check. Bishop takes, followed by bishop check. Mate. And that's 1750. Thanks for watching.